Well, howdy folks, I'm back. Got some more Ridgeline parts. Alright, I ordered a belt kit. It's a Continental belt kit. Thought I ordered a different one, but I checked my order and know this is what I ordered. But it consists of the Serpentine belt, your tensioner pulley, and an idler pulley. Well, I opened the box and there's this little box in here. It says Continental belt tensioning system. And there is another idler pulley, identical to this one. So I checked the markings on both pulleys, make sure that they are the same. And here is a picture of the diagram on Rock Auto. Shows a belt, tensioner, and one idler pulley. So I have an extra, which extras are always good, I reckon. Alright, so I'm going to try to set my tripod up here in the engine bay. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Let me turn you around this way, and I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see other than my fat head. Alright, first things first is I'm going to take one of my said pig mats, which are supposed to be highly absorbent, and I'm going to shove this up under the power steering pump reservoir. So if this stuff comes gushing out, it doesn't go all over the floor, which I'm not going to be too terribly upset about, because trust me, everything is on my garage floor. But I watch Eric O a lot, subscribe to him, South Main Auto, so if you're on YouTube, check him out. He works on all kinds of cars, super nice guy, you know. So anyway, he had recommended, he uses those and was talking about them, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give them a try. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pump the what fluid is in here, and then I'll lift it up, take off the hoses. So this ought to be pretty exciting to watch. And just your typical little cheapo suction pump. You get them at Walmart or Amazon. I'll lift you up here in a minute and show you why I'm doing this. Okay, let me move you up over here. Okay, here's the reservoir. Here's your power steering pump. And when I test drove this thing, I know it had been sitting for a long time, and this is kind of really just a design flaw from Honda. I think this should have been raised up higher, but anyway, it's not. It is what it is, and it was whining really bad. So I thought, you know what? After I bought it, I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. And then looking, you can kind of see, you know, this is pretty dirty around through here. It looks like it had been leaking at some time. So it's like, ah, what the hell, you know, it's 65 bucks for the power steering pump, which you got to reuse your own pulley, which I did cheat. I got a pry bar under here, and I did loosen this bolt up, which is sitting right down. So I can find my finger. Where's my finger? Finger's right there. That bolt right in there is super tight, and it's really hard to get to. The Odyssey, you can just disconnect this hose, same engine, different little bit layout in the engine compartment here, but and move this out of the way. But this got you got this big wiring harness right here where my finger is, and it does not move. So anyway, I just put a cheater bar on there along with my breaker bar, 3/8 inch. It's a 19 millimeter bolt, and then carefully popped it loose. So, and for those of you who don't know, you can actually take your hood and raise it all the way back to see where the peg is over here. Oh, follow my finger right there, and lift your hood all the way up. That way you're not, stuff's not in your way. All right, so with that said, let me see if I can get a good position from down in here for this tripod thing without dropping the camera. That's fairly decent. Okay, so that is semi-drained out. What's going to come out? Should just lift up out of here. Okay, So let's see here. Let me get a paper towel. And pull that up out of the way so I can get to that clamp down there. Why is it when you go to work on something, the clamps are always on the back side where it's extremely hard to get to. That's not working as well as I wanted it to. So let me see if I can get that with a pair of pliers. Okay, wrap this up and out of the way. Let me go loosen this one here. There ain't no mixing these up, guys. I'm gonna reach one way. But I did some other stuff yesterday, which I was going to record and kind of forgot to. There's one hose off. And you know what? I think I'll just take this off of the power steering pump, since that's got to come off anyway. Whoa. Yeah, we got goo going everywhere. Contain the spread. One, power steering pump not leaking too horribly bad. I got an old box in here and set this in. I'm going to get this hose off here. And then that's the bottom. Okay, so that is out of the way. Wipe this up. I got some on the belt, but I don't care because I got a new belt. Okay, so now what I want to do is grab my tensioner tool, and we're going to remove that belt. Like I said, it's just 14 millimeter. And this here tool is Harbor Freight Special. Serpentine belt tool. It's a 14 millimeter, and I think I must have broke my 14 because it comes with them, or maybe it didn't, but it takes a standard 3/8 inch socket, so no big deal. Let's get this thing, pull that back. And of course, it is, let me see if I can knock that off. Oh, I need to budge off there. Of course, see if I can just knock the socket off there. Yes, I'm going. Because that's going to be a problem. Because I got to get that off there. Issues. It's always something. And, well, I guess I could just put the belt back on. Reposition that. And with my little light. So this, I've got to move up more. And then fetch my light. There. Note to self, don't put it up so high. or low. Yeah, and I got these little lights here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know what brand it is. It's Work Light. I don't know. Got them on Amazon. I'll put a link. There's 2 of them, and they head flips over, and you can also tip it all the way over like that. It does have a magnetic base. It's got a little thing here you can pull out to. Sorry if I'm blinding you. So you can hang it upside down. So they weren't that expensive. So kind of nice. So I'll leave him down in there. I did. Let me get my notes. I took notes for you. So I didn't have to look it up later. I wrote down a diagram of the Serpentine belt. The top one there is the power steering punt. The one right below it is the tensioner pulley, and then it goes around the crank, comes over, goes around the AC, comes back up around the idler, and then around to the alternator, and then back up to the power steering pump. Now, of course, get this one off here. I don't know how old this one was. It don't look too bad. But it was squealing, so something was squealing. Some of this power steering fluid. And now I gotta locate the bolts. So let me take my handy dandy flat little light, put down here. There is one there. So the idler pulley is right there. And then there should be another one. I bet you I can't. Yeah, that's right. There, it's a 12 millimeter. And then the idler pulley one is a 14 millimeter. The kit does not come with those 2 bolts, so you got to reuse them, so don't lose them. See if I can stick this in here so I can get some light down there. All right, so that's a 12. Let's see if this will reach down in there to that. That is a tight fit down there. Did I not grab a 12? Yeah, it's a 12. Okay, let me double check this. That is not a 12. That's the bolt that I'm looking for. So if you're looking at the pulley, it's kind of sitting. Where'd you go, Greg? Just blind yourself. It is sitting like, well, you're looking at it like that. The idler pulley goes over this, and there's this bolt right down here that, according to the instructions, is a 12 millimeter, but that does not feel like a 12 millimeter. So let me try an 11. That can't be no 10 millimeter. But then again, maybe it is. Let's take that off there. Let's try Actually, maybe I had these. Okay, so let's see here. Maybe I had my sockets out of whack. That's an 11. That didn't fit. So let's try a 10 down there. And brake fluid is some slippery stuff, man. Yep, that's a 10 millimeter. Okay. No biggie. I mean, it doesn't matter what size it is. Just getting it off. Unfortunately, this thing's not super tight. Just awkward to get to. Very awkward to get to. Just be patient, go slow. Yes, I can't get kind of hard to get both hands down here. So when you guys go to do this, you'll see what I'm talking about. Not a whole lot of real estate. But it's coming. Just slow. So anyway, I haven't done, well, what did I do yesterday? Put my bug guard on, bug deflector on the hood. It's an AVS, got it on Amazon, and the hardware that comes with it is shit. Pardon my French, which I don't think shit's French, but it comes with those plastic body clips, and they're too long. And you can't pop them in and get it to hold. So what I ended up doing, if you guys have a Ridgeline or you want to get one of these things, I know it's going to be a pain, but see, let me turn my finger, I'm turning it out. I cut the, I didn't use the, of course I'm not going to spin that by finger. I use these. They're actually from the VW. They're little Torx head screws like that, and it's threaded. I know the Beetle used those. So I didn't use the little plastic clip because it came with something similar to these. And this part down here was a hair too long, and then this part, which is, they're close, it's not the exact one, wouldn't push in all the way. Excuse me, and pull it tight. So I was afraid it would pop out going down the road. And then there goes your fancy bug deflector. So no worries, it's on there now. Just took one more little turn. Okay. So we have to reuse that bolt. Make sure. So I can flip my lens around, my display around. Yeah, we'll have to reuse that. That's the 10 millimeter. That's the one that goes in the side or bottom. Okay, now it said that the other one should be a 14. So let's see how accurate they are. So we know that was a 10. My 14 is on the end of the tensioner thing. Work leg. It's going to be too long to fit in here. Yep. I really need some long handled socket ratchets. I know that's on there tight. And it is. And of course, everything happens to be in your way. It's bird free. So I should be able to ratchet that off now. So anyway, back to what I got. So I got that, the bug deflector thing, and I'll show you that when I'm done with all this. I got some, the leather, actually the leather on the passenger seat, the bottom cushion was in worse shape. And it wasn't horrible, but I showed a picture of it in the other video. So I got these Motor Trend car seat lower covers. They're black and they look fine. So put those on. That was a pretty hard job right there. And then what else? I got LED headlights, light bulbs, and those went in pretty good. Tell you what though, I was looking in here, I don't know how the hell you're supposed to get to the turn signals. This thing is here, it's a long ass bolt. I don't know if you gotta go into the fender, you gotta take the headlight out, because you sure the hell can't get it from the inside of the car here. Truck, I should say. That is one very, very long bolt. It's still spinning. Okay. Where's that coming out of there? Duck. As I said, you're supposed to rotate that a little bit. Give it a few little love taps. Makes some nice music over there, because I can't play music on my videos. I got yelled at, copyright infringement. So sorry guys, no Def Leppard for you. This bolt is not coming out here. What am I missing? Does it go back in? Yeah, it goes back in. And there is the idler pulley. Well, there's only 2 bolts on this thing, guys. And that's it. Oh crap. Let's see, I don't think that was a 10. Or maybe that's the 12 that they were talking about. Let's see. There's another bolt under there, and it's really hard to get to. You can't even see it. Okay, so maybe that is it. Maybe that 10 is to the timing belt cover. Quite possibly. Because I was wondering why that thing wasn't coming out of there. So we can get this down here. I can barely see. See that? That is, so there's a bolt there. There's one down there, but I can't. See it. See what size head it is, but it doesn't feel. Here it is. Of course. Out the bottom she goes. Oh, I swear, cat. You shed more freaking hair. Cat hair everywhere. I need to kick these animals out of my garage. And it doesn't help that these gloves are slippery from our steering fluid. I cannot see that bolt at all. So I'm just trying to feel around. If that is it. We'll know here in a moment. A lot of pain to get to. I mean, I see why people take their cars to shops, because they don't want to mess with it. You need a crap ton of tools. Stuff gets rusted on, stuff breaks. Let's see, I'll screw that by hand if I'm even doing the right thing. Man, what the hell was that turning on? I don't feel anything loose down here. What a pain in the ass. That's why people take cars to shops. Let me see if this is a 10. Ooh. Got the heat up a little too high in here. I gotta turn it down. Oh shit, don't drop the socket. I'll never find that. Okay, that is not a 10. It is not fitting over it. I mean, this twat again. I'm going to get another pair of gloves, guys. These are a little too damn slippery. Feels like it's on. But if this is it, it is not. Look. Oops. Do this and not drop it. Oh. Let's try this again. I gotta coat my hands in Daisy cat hair. This is a total pain in the ass. Can't see it. Can't get the socket on. And then put the ratchet on because there's not enough room to move your hands around here. See if I can put that thing down here. Good. Nope. I'm trying not to cuss too much, guys. That's right there. A dirty mark there, so I can see. Stay. Way too freaking far down there. Oh, and it's right in front. Let me get a seat. That's it, guys. I watch other people work on cars, and of course I work on my own stuff. And whenever you watch somebody else do it, they always make it look so super freaking easy. But you know, you get this done and you have the satisfaction of knowing you did it yourself. And somebody had commented, I guess there's an issue with these radiators because they act as coolers and heaters for the transmission, and it looks like this one has been replaced. All of the snaps for the wiring harness are broke, so I've got some of those coming. Got it, guys. So that is the proper 12mm bolt. So I'll get this thing out of here and we'll figure out where that 2mm went. I'll put that back in. Okay, so that's what was preventing us from coming out. See that? It's got this little nylon thing at the bottom of it. And there is that. So let me set that here a minute because I'm going to put, before I forget, lose my spot, I'm going to put that bolt back in that I took out. So there's that one. Yeah, there's that one. Yeah, that looks to be, it's one of the timing cover bolts. So, no big deal. Put that right back in there. Don't be missing no bolts. Put that alternator with some brake clean. Tidy lefty loosey. My little stubby extension is just almost a hair too long. Okay, that's back on. So the instructions did state that it was a 12 millimeter, and they were correct. Of course, that's not gonna reach. So how many people have ever put these straws in these things and then have it hit you in the face? Stupid straw. Hit that top of that there. Wash off any power steering fluid I may have got on it. Okay, so alright, I'm gonna swap my gloves here, so I'll be right back. Okay, before I get ahead of myself, here is the old one right here. Here is the new one right here. Now, what you got to do, that little, the way this came, pull this back out, so I can show you. Okay, here is this little nylon bushing, and then here's the big screw, and here is your heat shield. Okay, this goes over that, and then you can just kind of screw this down. That's why that bolt was not wanting to come out when I had it in there. So you got to, like I said, you got to reuse your bolt, and you got to use that heat shield. So parts list, and all you do is just take the heat shield and the bolt, shove it right down through there. Now the reason I did not get this on Amazon is I forget what brand it is that they sell, but people were complaining that the idler pulleys did not fit. So that would be an issue, because since they're going through all this trouble and work if the damn idler pulley doesn't fit. So what I'm going to do now is set this aside here, and I'm going to get one of these towels. I'm going to show you. They're called Wipe All, W-Y-P-A-L-L. The part number is 41041. They're these blue towels, and I know they just look like an ordinary blue paper towel, but trust me, these things are super, super strong and super absorbent. So, and so they say you can wash them. I have never tried that, but I'm going to shoot some brake clean on this stuff here and kind of wipe down these pulleys. Make sure nothing's on them. That's not a requirement. You don't have to do it, but in case you happen to get power steering fluid on anything, it's good to get it wiped down. And that way too, you know, you got a nice clean rib surface. See that dirt there? So I got one more belt I gotta get. One more pulley. So I highly recommend these towels. I know other people make the shop towels, which they're okay, but they're basically just a thick paper towel. And they do not hold up that well. These things will not tear or anything. And like I said, they say you can wash them. I actually need to try that. So I'm just wiping some stuff down in here. Alright, so that is wiped down. Put my rag up here with my super absorbent pig mat. Well, it's still kind of wet. These Ridgelines have a cover that goes over top of the power steering reservoir. Give that a little wipe. Alright, so now what we got to do is we got to take the pulley off for the hopefully I can get that off. I did loosen it, but it's still on there tight. So see if I can hold this thing. Helps turn your ratchet back correctly. Yeah, just get it off. And then we got to remove the don't even tell me. I don't even know where that thing fell to. There it is. And if you don't have one, I highly suggest getting a magnetic pickup tool for when you drop things in all the wrong locations. Found ya. I think I charged them up good. Alright, so we'll set that up there. This should come off with a few little taps. And in my Honda Odyssey video that I did, the nipple side goes towards the engine. So you'll see there's a flat side and then the nipple side. The nipple side goes towards the engine. So we'll set that up there. And then there are 2 bolts to take this thing off. And then you got to take off the high pressure side, which those are 10 millimeter. Let me get my 10 back out. I'm going to wrap this around the bottom of that, so in case any extra fluid comes out. It doesn't go everywhere. And I did get the power steering pump that I got does come with the low side tube on it, so it already has the O-ring, but when I don't know, I gotta check, I haven't even opened it yet. We'll open it here in a minute. The kit for the Odyssey did not have the O-ring, a replacement O-ring in the kit for the high side, but they're not supposedly known for leaking there. They leak on the low side. So I'm pop this off here. And pry this up out of the way so it doesn't have fluid leaking everywhere. That went relatively easy. Okay. Alright, so that looks to be about a 12 back there. I know there's one underneath here. And that looks to be, I think they're both 12s. Let's find out. Or 14s. 12s. Now you know where that went, guys. I heard it. Hit the plastic, did not hit the ground. So, let me climb under here. I'm Mr. Butterfinger today. Tell you. I'll be damned. It fell right upright. Easy retrieval. So there's one on the bottom. Tight, man. Everything is in the way of everything. I really need a shorter extension. My extension is just like an inch too long. Tell you what I can do. Retrieve my rag and get a where did I hide my deep well? I got it here somewhere. 14, 13. Let's see if we can get this another way. Put this on the breaker bar. That did it. This other one though is still even for the breaker bar. A bit long. I don't know if I can get. Tell you what, guys, today is just not my day. I am dropping everything underneath this car. There you go. Let's see. I'm missing a few clips under here, guys. There you go. Okay. Yeah, sit there and chuckle at me. I'm being Mr. Damn Butterfingers today. Probably because it's almost time for a latte. Lacking the caffeine. It's too early for beer. It's only about 3:45 in the afternoon. And my stupid light, which I went over in another video. It's a sensor light, and I cannot make it, this particular model, I cannot make it stay in the on position. My old one that died, I could. So it likes to go off on me while I'm sitting here working on stuff, especially when you got a big old honking truck in here and it blocks the sensor. So anyway, we'll get this done, and then before I fill that back up, I gotta put the new power steering pump on and put the pulley back on. Are you kidding me? And then get the tensioner pulley back on, and then we can get the belt back on, and then we can put the reservoir back on. So that's my 10. Where did I just hide my 12 at, you guys? But live here in southeast Indiana. We've had a crap ton, I mean a crap ton of snow here lately. Which I guess been long overdue for. It hasn't really snowed like that around here in quite a few years. And today is a whopping 25 today. Alright, so here we go, guys. Here's our old power steering pump. This is the tube right here. There's an O-ring. It's a 10 millimeter right here. If you pull this out, there's an O-ring in there. And that is what is known to go bad on these things and just cause all kinds of problems with getting air in the system and whatnot. So, we got that. Let me get a knife and you know what? Right here, we can go ahead and get this screwed on. Maybe. Baby. What is that? Oh, right there. Let's see if we can get this down in position. Man, I really hate I can't see shit. See if I can get this ivory pulley screwed in so I don't keep it from falling out. And then find this other hole. I'm gonna get this thing kind of screwed in. What? They're just. I can't say it enough. There's enough room down here. Ain't enough room to get your hands. I know this thing sits into a certain position. And just get it going enough to keep them coming back out. Get a socket on it. Okay. There's that. I'm gonna try to get this one. Piece of crap. My hands get slick still. Trying to see if I can just thread this in a little bit, keep it from coming out. Feels like it's going. Okay, where did that go? I know it's not far off. See if I can get this down in here. So my extension, a little too long. Let me try that. Or did. I swear I forget where I put half my stuff at. That's 10. Yep, that's the 10. Where did I stick the 12, guys? Okay, that's 14. That's 19. We're gonna set it. Okay. Oh, there it is. It was on the floor. Imagine that. Okay, let me take this stupid glove off because I can't. They're slippery or slippery or crap. Okay, I did, and I'm gonna just pull my hair out. So I can't spin it. Slowly. I need to get this glove off before I not drop. I swear, like there gremlins in here or something? Because this stuff just keeps moving. Doesn't feel like that. The long bolt is in. The idler nut bolt. Alright, this glove's coming off. Feels like it's in, so let me see if I can tighten that down. Of course, you are too far out. Guess I could get my 19 gear wrench, right? Bad idea. That's not the 19. That is a 14. It's screwing in. The 19 was. What was that 19? Was that the? I think that was the Pulley for the power steering pump. This is a very long bolt. Probably get down there with my impact ratchet. But hey, you know, I gotta get the air hose. And I gotta hook that up. Only to find out it ain't gonna fit. Okay, so that is there. So before I snug that one up all the way, let me get this one underneath here and get it snugged up all the way. Of course, go back to that. Ask to find my damn nut. Found it. Wish I could show you guys down in here. So I was looking at the side of my face, but I can't get the camera down there. It came off. Alright, let me see if I can turn that by hand because the ratchet's not wanting to turn it and it's too loose still. I can't reach it. Barely. Nope. I swear. Today is the day for dropping things. Can't really get right-handed because I'm right-handed. I'm gonna get this tightened down enough to get the ratchet on it, so the ratchet will turn it. Okay. Mission complete. While I tear all the skin off my hands. Crapshoot down here, guys. I'm telling you right now. Sometimes I get it right on there and get lucky. Don't you just hate that? Okay. It's on here. Get this thing. Oh, one more skin to be tore. Sharp little zip tie right there, guys. Gotcha. That is on there good. Okay. I'll bleed to death here. Told you, sharp zip tie down there. I'm gonna find that sucker and cut him off. Get it on. I keep grabbing for that 19. I'm programmed. Okay, that is on. Did I torque it? Nope. Not yet. I gotta look up the torque specs. Okay, so we got that, and like I said, let me get my knife, razor, and we'll cut open the box of the power steering. I got stuff here. Let's see here. That is the reservoir. I'll show you that. One brand new power steering reservoir, and you can't really you can't see it, but there is a down inside that hole. Let's see here. And you'll be able to see it because I can't really even see it with my eye. There's a screen in there, and they get plugged up, and it's like near impossible to clean them. So just get a new one. And like I said, they're $20. Can't beat that with a stick. Okay. What we have here is the new power steering pump. And you have to take off this. Throw down here and cap on the other one. And then here is the high side. Take the plug off. Now what we don't get on this is the O-ring, which is on here, which, yeah, who's here? Right there. That's the O-ring. I should have one of those, and I will put that on here in a moment. But before I do that, I will go ahead and put this down in place. So it's not rolling around. I'll open that box, and I should have two new O-rings. This one you don't need to put on because it's already on there. Now, keep in mind, if you look on Amazon, they sell several different kinds, and they will sell them without that little tube. And if you get one like that, then you are definitely going to have to get an O-ring kit. Okay, that is on. Let me find that box. And here is the two O-rings. You can see them in this package here, maybe. One is black and one is orange. The orange one goes on the bottom and the black one goes on the top. So let me see if I can pop this one here. I don't think there's anything wrong with this one, but like I said, and these are actually really easy to get to. So actually, that broke fairly easy, so it's kind of brittle. So we got a nice, new, supple one. There we go. And you can put that right back in place. Okay. Now we need the tin. Now I will go ahead and put the pulley on, and I'll get it fairly tight. And then I can really tighten it down more once I get the serpentine belt back on. Okay, so we need our pulley. Remember, nipple side in. And it's splined. You can only go on one way. Like that. And use your big nut. and that is a 19. Gear wrench. And that will come in handy for that. And you'll want to put a pry bar up underneath it. Keep that pulley from spinning. That was a 19. I'm smoking crack. That's an 18. Oh, no, I have an 19. What did I do with it? I set it somewhere. Here it is. That's on there really good and tight. Stupid light. Okay. So we got that. And I think my battery is. I know I charged this thing yesterday, but no, well. Charge it again. Excuse me. Okay. Serpentine belt time. I hate putting these things on. Let me look at my handy dandy chicken scratch diagram. I'll probably have to get that other light so I can. That light kit came with 2, so that's good. So when you kill one, of course I guess I could have just used my plug-in light. Getting that thing over there though. Here's the other one. It's the baby light, but still pretty damn bright. I really need like a step stool. Climb down here. Okay. That is around that. That is around that. So it comes back up. And then it goes around that one. And comes up under the alternator. Make sure I'm straight. And then it's going to go over there, and then like so. Oh, gee, I should have put my 14mm back on before I did that. I really don't like putting in this with these belts. I don't know where that high tension. I have to put things in the way. That bar is in the way. Get up there and past there. Come on. I need to go a little bit more. Let me go a little bit more. So let me reposition this. See if I can get it go back just a tiny bit more. Stupid thing. Okay. Make sure that is on there. Let me double check my routing. make sure it is right. Oh man, I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. Okay, so we're over top of the power steering. It goes down and over the outside of the tensioner pulley, and it goes back to the crankshaft pulley, which is in the grooves. Then it comes under and it goes over the AC condenser, compressor. And then it comes back around the idler pulley, and then back up under the alternator. So we are good to go there, guys. So let's see here. So what do we want to do? Got the belt on. We need to put our hose on our new power steering thing. Okay, so let's see here. So that goes on that side. And this goes on this side. I think, I'm gonna make sure I got the right side hose on what. It goes this way. And laying down. Forgot my orientation. Yeah. So this goes down here, like so. There's that one. And then we got, oops. This one on. There's a damn zip tie. Spin that thing around. Got me again. At least I found him this time though. Alright, I'm just putting this other lower hose on. Okay, that's in place. I have no clue how much fluid this thing takes. But I got 3 bottles of it. Honda fluid. There. Put this over here. Smush this down on that. Put our clamp back on. Maybe. The rail. Right there, the elbow there. Okay, clamps are on. Oh, I'm gonna put this little hose back in here. Took that out, thinking it'd give me some room to take that pulley off, but it didn't. So, anyway, hey, I think Sunday it is supposed to be, hopefully I'll get this published tonight. It's supposed to be like 41 degrees here, so it's going to be like a heat wave. And then I think one day next week, we're supposed to have like a 52 degree day. Pretty excited. Get one of the bikes out. I am tired of not being able to ride. Put that back. Don't need the hammer. Done beat up enough things. Pliers. My fancy notepad. Oh, my deep well. Put that up. Okay, I am missing a socket. No, I'm not. It was on the end of the doohickey. Serpentine belt tool. Don't need those. Alright, so let me put some fluid down in. Well, I got 3 bottles because it says it is sold as a set. So there you have it. So how many times have you guys popped those little seals on something like washer fluid, or let me give you a funnel or I'll spill it everywhere, and have it go down where you didn't want it to go? I did that one time with a windshield wiper fluid. I finally got it out, but you talk about a pain in the ass. Well, there is one bottle, which I know it is going to take more than one. It is above the full line. Oh, 2 points, man. But I'll go ahead and put the cap on. Start it here in a moment. And let it settle in. Turn the wheel, open the garage door so I don't asphyxiate myself. Move my little baby flashlight out of the way. Alright, that's about that. Be right back. Well, folks, we are running. Went ahead and filled the container up. You can see down there that's how much it's used. Oh, come on, focus in. It's on the low side now. But it's working. Sounds good. I'll go park you guys right here for a second. Go turn that wheel. Looking good. I'm going to turn it back off and fill up the power steering fluid. Fill that reservoir up. And then I'll come back and show you some of the other stuff I did. So we'll be back in a minute. Alright. Took a tiny little break. Got the new AVS window deflectors on. They're much cheaper than WeatherTech. And what's nice about these doors is they have frames, so there's really no hassle. You undo the tape, shove it up in there, roll the windows up, clean it out with the alcohol pad first. Turns out pretty nice. Everything's all buttoned back up in here. double checked all that, cleaned up my massive power steering pump spill. And what I did yesterday was put this new coffee. Oh, here, these are the mats, the seat mats. They're leather or pleather. Well, they feel comfy. I'm kind of curious how the heated seats are going to work through these. It may take a while to heat it up, but all right. Replaced this knob right here. Got the whole module, and this one is a little bit different. Mine actually had a push button, but this one has got an on and off. But everything works. I've verified it, and the AC does work. I didn't think it did, because when I test drove it, it was blowing hot air out of the driver's side vents. So I just assumed it wasn't working. Well, that wasn't the case. It was apparently that switch. So that was 95 bucks, eBay, and I should have recorded this, but popping this cover off is super simple. There is a little tab, a little slot right here where my fingernail is. Put a screwdriver in there and just pop it, and then either take a trim tool or a butter knife and go around them and pop all your things off. Whole thing comes out, but you have a connector here, 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 actually here. These fat fingers in the way. Here, steering wheel, there. Then you have connectors here, and you have a connector here for your door light, and then one connector back here for this module. So, and then what I did is I just put the parking brake on, which is still on. And you can remove this tab right there and stick your key down in there, and then drop your lever down so you got room to pull this thing out. Super simple to do. And then I got a coffee colored wrap. You know, I should have just went with black, but I like the coffee color, so, you know, and I kind of thought these seats were more of a whatever, but I think this is like an olive color now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, you know, it's like 15 bucks. Yeah, looks better than what it did. Okay, so that's what I did. Oh, and I fixed this light right here. The switch was actually broke, and it would not turn off. So, and I should have recorded that, but you just pop these lenses off, and there's Phillips there, and take your sunglass thing down, and you can't see because I ain't got a light in here. There's 2 screws up in there. The whole thing comes down, and then you can slide those little push connectors out and put the new one in. Those were pretty cheap. I'll put a link. And now next is the sagging headliner, and I've got some pins I'm just going to put in it, like I said, for the time being, and fix that problem. But the seat covers actually fit pretty well, you know, and they do have little pockets in the front. I'll put a link in there if anybody's interested in getting some of those. I thought this little flap here was going to cover the chair stuff, but it doesn't. So, all right, so on my to-do list, I believe that is the last thing on my to-do list. And you know what, look back there in that corner. I am missing the cover for that seatbelt thing. That will drive me insane. Nah, not really, but it's coming together. So got left to do is I got my fluid film coming, which I'm going to spray some spots underneath. There's a couple spots that are getting some rust. I got a little rust spot right here, which I'm going to work on. I've checked all the other fender wells. They're all good. So that should be a relatively simple fix. And we're ready to drive this thing. It's been parked in my garage ever since I got it last, say Friday? Was it Saturday? Sunday? Yeah, I forget what day it was. But we've got it buffed and polished and waxed. Oh, here's the hood. Here's the hood, AVS hood thing. That looks pretty nice. It blends. So we've got all that detailing done. We've got the window deflectors. We got the hood deflector. We've got new plugs in it. We got a new air filter in it. We got new power steering pump, new reservoir, new O-ring, new tensioner pulley, idler pulley, and serpentine belt. And that's what we've got done so far. I do have the stuff to do a transmission oil fluid change, so may wait a little bit and do that. I mean, it seems to be shifting and fine and everything, but I don't know when it was done last, so it'll be on my to-do list here pretty soon, and it's fairly simple to do. Climb under there, drain it out, takes 4 quarts, plug it back up, fill it in through the engine compartment. So, but I'll go ahead and I'll record that too. So I will get this put on and then see what I'm going to do next. So thanks for watching. Comments, questions, anything like that, holler at me, and I'll respond as quick as I can. Have a good one.